Hello, listeners. This is Lee Price.
This is Will Ford from Football 365.
And you're listening smartly to At the Bridge Pod, a Chelsea FC podcast, although I would describe it as the Chelsea FC podcast.
Magical from Eden Hazard. Kai Havertz in the Champions League final. Ivanovic! In the middle, it's just behind him. But it's tapped in by Hakim Ziyech. Matic with the ball driver. Matic takes the net off. Hat-trick hero. Cole Palmer wins an epic, sensational game.
It's time for another episode of At the Bridge Pod, your number one Chelsea FC podcast. Coming up on this episode,
Liam Delap's trying to think of a celebration he can do after scoring goals. I say, bring back the Alan Shearer. Oh, welcome back everyone to another episode of At the Bridge Pod. I'm your host Mike and I am joined in a virtual room filled with one lion. I have got Ollie. I'm blessed. I am blessed. Listener, you're blessed. Friday show on a Thursday. Blessed again. Come on. I want to know what you're looking forward to, Ollie, this weekend. Come on.
Since when do you introduce yourself, host?
Because
know your place.
Because people kept saying, I was like, he doesn't introduce himself. If he did that, we don't know. So I'm like, okay, I'll start doing that. And then someone will probably message you go, that's too jarring for me. Don't like that.
Yeah, no, don't like host. No, I'm doing all right. It's nice to be back on, obviously, after the shit show that was Flamenco. Yeah, looking forward to, what am I looking forward to this weekend? What am I doing? I got some time off by myself for like the first time in like quite a little while.
Oh.
So I don't know. I'm just gonna do what I want to do, which is kind of rare.
Fair play.
So...
fair play. In my kitchen, that's my highlight. My kitchen, I'm baking my own twist on crumbles, wafer feet Kit Kat. So photos on Instagram as always, and of course, games of the weekend. Clear that schedule.
What do we got?
Well, Saturday, 5 p.m. I've got Palmeiras versus Botafogo. I've circled this in red. Look, the South American passion has been unmatched at this competition. I mean, singing, the flares. I've honestly, it's been a pleasure to watch. And to me, this will be pure football brasileiro. It really will be.
It should be good, shouldn't it? Because
I can't wait.
The South American teams are some of the best teams in the competition. In terms of performance, right? Partially used to the conditions, but also just because a lot of them are good teams. So it'll be interesting to see who comes out on top on that one.
And I guess they're not the two teams you'd have expected from Brazil to get, well, maybe two South American teams, if you look.
Yeah, I think I don't know. You probably
done well. Botafogo especially.
Yeah. Wanted to see more from some of the other South American teams because they're clearly a quite good outfit, aren't they?
Oh, yeah. 7 p.m, just straight after this game, I've got Kimberley versus Sol de Mayo. This is in the Argentinian Federal A Zona A. Sometimes, listener, you don't watch football for the quality. You just watch it for the vibes. And listen. When I saw Kimberley versus Sol de Mayo, which stands for, in English, translated the Son of May, I thought the team names alone, I've got to put this on the list. Will I be able to... Wait. Will you be able to find a stream for it, you ask? No, of course you won't. No chance. I don't know how you're going to watch it. But if you're in Argentina, go down and watch that game for me, please.
Yeah, let us know. Let us know how it goes. Let us know how Kimberly gets on. I hope she'll be okay. So 1 versus 11, I think she's going to struggle.
If you obviously aren't in Argentina, listener, you wait till 8 p.m. and watch England versus Germany in the under-21 Euros. I mean, it's the final, the iconic rivalry. And if you don't tune in to watch England versus Germany in the final, I mean, you're probably watching Benfica at Chelsea at 9. So I'll allow it.
Yeah.
What about Sunday? Swell. It starts very early at 12:15 in the morning because Panama against Honduras in the Gold Cup quarterfinal. They have been the team, Panama have, of the Gold Cup. They're top scorers in the tournament. And remember, they beat the USA earlier this year in the Nations League. So I am expecting quite big things here from Panama. Will I watch it? I'll watch the highlights because that's a bit... Well, actually, it's not that late because I could sort of stay up, couldn't I? But
yeah,
9 p.m.
Quite a decent side, aren't they, Panama?
Yeah, 9 p.m. Flamengo, Bayern Munich. If you're not watching Felipe Luis's Flamengo in the Club World Cup, it's just doing your weekend. No service whatsoever. I mean, Bayern are the favourites on paper, but I think Flamengo could absolutely ruffle feathers here. It has a potential upset written on it, especially how I watched Bayern play the other day in the last group game. Fucking hell, I wasn't impressed. So
I like that. Flamengo can ruffle some feathers. That's nice.
Oh yeah. And finally, ending.
Or they could bastard you up.
They could they could. They can bastard you up. They can. And 11 p.m. close your weekend out well with a top tier Eastern Conference showdown. First versus fourth, Columbus Crew versus the Philadelphia Union, the MLS. All action, end to end. Probably something weird will happen. I think it's worth your watching. I think it is. So, with that set, I will go to Shevva Shoutouts. And we got 13 here, so I'd best get me arse in gear and read these out. So we'll go from furthest to most latest to you get the idea. So L House 75. Maresca's tactics have always been shit. I'm sick of him. There was that dopamine hit when we got from winning the Conference League and also qualifying for the Champions League. What does Bernardo Cueva do? Probably celebrates that I picked him as one of my winners of the week from Winners or Lose episode. That was a long time ago. And I remember the lads absolutely had me on roast for that. Absolutely.
That is arguably his greatest achievement.
Yeah, being on my list. Oh, God. Oh, Taylor. Agree with Chris on the Maresca take. I get the chance to watch Chelsea for the first time in December next season, travelling from Australia. I'm worried that Maresca will destroy the team and I won't see the best the team can play. Oh, fuck. Well, hopefully not.
I wouldn't be worried about whether Maresca's here in like 18 months. I think it's gonna be a while.
We have no idea what's going to happen with our club. We never know. It's no manager is ever safe. Unless you're Arteta, he's set for life.
Well, yeah, that's what I mean. It's just gonna. I wouldn't worry about that yet. There's a lot that can happen between now and then.
That's true. KP, Chris chatting shit. We literally played Palmer right wing and an overlapping fullback, and he stunk. Stop blaming the manager next for not getting hot water. You didn't watch the game. Period. You coming and talking shit on it. Literally said this is not a real tournament, and you are crying about it all episode. Now, come on. I think it was very fair because Palmer is such a special talent, and no, I'm not having that. I've got what? Do you want me to back it up? I don't need to. It's my show. Go to Jay.
Host is bringing the hammer down.
Well, Jay is bringing the hammer with him as well because Chris 100% right about Maresca. Team getting worse the more they play system. Gone by Christmas. Ooh, I don't know, Santa. What do we think?
I don't think so. I think Chelsea fans are notoriously pessimistic. So, sure, it could all go wrong, but that doesn't mean it will.
Jonathan, hate to be that pretentious American, but I did golf in 47 Celsius the other day here in Arizona. You guys will be okay in your heat wave, lol. Whoa! Woo! That's something. Okay, I can't even process that in my head.
Yeah, where did you say he was?
Arizona. So yeah,
that's a dry heat, isn't it? Like,
very dry. Oh man. Ryan, love these pods. Thank you, host. Oh, thanks. I also said Hulk seconds before Chris. Love it. Ah, nice. You know you have ball knowledge, you do. Dreamweaver, superb show again with Chris back. The man is so knowledgeable about football that he should manage Chelsea. Thank you, guys. Look at him. I wrote none of these.
Nice try, Chris.
John. Well, John could be Chris. Love the pod, lads. Chris never change. I'm Mignon. I know lots of people praise Chelsea for sticking to their guns with his price, but doesn't it annoy anyone else that will pay 30 million for a random 16-year-old Brazilian and not pay the asking price to one of the best keepers in the world? Yeah, I've got used to it.
That's a valid take.
It's a valid take. I'm at the point now where it's one of them things. If you punch me in the face once, I'm like, I don't like that. That hurt. You do it twice. 3, 4, 5, 6. By the 10th time, I'm just used to it. I'm like, oh, so if I wake up and you haven't punched me in the face, I'm kind of like, oh, can you punch me again? It's kind of that's what our transfer business feels like. Jamal,
interesting. It's a really interesting perspective.
SJM, Chris trying his hardest to contain himself. Jamali, do you think Enzo is living up to his price tag? Yes. We'll touch on that.
Fernandez, I presume.
Yeah, not Maresca. How should we pay for him? Too much?
I don't know. Probably too much. Yeah, I would say so. We'll talk about him though, I'm sure.
Peter, I do somewhat agree about us not making big signings anymore, but I'd like to know what big money signings you would make this summer. I couldn't think of any, to be fair. I would have put Yokeres in there, but there's something weird going on there.
Nobody wants him. Isn't that
It's
strange?
weird. Yeah, that's weird. I know nothing, by the way. I'm not suggesting on it. I don't. I just find it weird.
Or do we? No, we don't.
Or do we?
Yeah, I don't know. There are I've run into this a few times when I've been thinking about who I would sign ideally in the summer. There's probably a handful of players who are up there in terms of what the kind of thing we would want if we wanted to add some like world class experience into the squad. But it's not cheap, and they're not, and they can be quite hard to find sometimes. So
That's
it's
true.
a risk. That's how it works.
Jack did ask what Chris's ideal signings be this summer. He's not here, so I'll have to remember to tell him on Monday. And finally, 4bit26 en route to pub with the best Chelsea podcast in the ears. Good day going, I reckon. Pleasure as always. Oh, thank you. Genuinely, thank you.
Yeah, it's always nice when we get some compliments. It really is.
Sort of. And one final Shevva shout out, which is from me. Yes. Because on Monday's show, Chris and I had a proper laugh as I shared the rabbit hole I'd fallen into. I don't know if you heard it, Ollie.
No, I didn't. I didn't have a chance to listen to the show.
Right.
What happened?
So
please explain it.
It started with me stumbling across Barcelona's rugby union team.
Right.
Because they're part of a sporting club model, like Galatasaray, a sporting club, Panathinaikos, etc. And obviously, deep dive into that I did. And I floated the idea of how it would be amazing if English clubs adopted the same sort of system. So Brentford Cricket Club, Fulham Rugby, Chelsea Athletic, you get the idea. And
that is kind of cool.
Then I cheekily said, you'd never imagine Manchester United basketball because it doesn't sound right. And it doesn't. I was like, it turns out it did exist. It does work. Because after the NBA finals wrapped up this week, I was poking around to UK's basketball history. Yeah, I do. I get bored. And I came across the now defunct British Basketball League. In there, I found a team called the Manchester Giants, who were once known as the Manchester Eagles. And before that, the Manchester United Basketball Club, because Man United bought the Warrington Vikings in 1985 and rebranded them as their very own basketball team. I couldn't believe that. I was like, what the fuck is this?
We should do that as a little game or something at the end of one episode. We'll talk about different clubs. What other sports would they do in their multi?
How many times am I wrong in an episode? There we go again. Oh, thank you as always for your reviews and thoughts and everything else, listeners. If you want yours read out, just head over to Spotify, drop a comment on this episode. Make sure to shout you out in the next episode we shall do. Just before we hit the news, of course, I want to keep shouting out for something that matters more than 3 points on a Saturday. It's your mental health, listener, because our partners Head in the Game have a free football for the mind and body, which is kicking off on the 2nd of July at the Harris Garrard Academy 3G in Thamesmead. So it's not about how good you are. Don't worry about that. It's about how good it makes you feel. So there's 3 weekly sessions, support for your well-being. For men aged 18 and over, there's no pressure at all. All abilities, you are welcome. So whether you're feeling stressed, unmotivated, or you just want to connect with good people through the power of football, this is for you. This is for you. It's starting the 2nd of July, every Wednesday, 8 p.m, 12 weeks of movement, mates, mental fitness. So head on over to headinthegame.co.uk, get involved, and yeah,
it's important for your mental health. Give it a go.
Is.
You might like it.
Yeah, exactly. It is. And we all need, to look after each other a bit more. We do.
Yeah.
So with that, let's hit some news. Very quick spot in the elevator at Chelsea news, but we're going in there. Randall Koulibaly is not under consideration for Chelsea despite fresh links. Chelsea are close to complete the deal for Jamie Gittins. Chelsea are not actively looking to sell Nicholas Jackson, but they do not regard him as untouchable. Kepa has joined Arsenal. And finally, Manchester United have signed Will Carvalho, first team performance chef from Brighton after 2 seasons at the club. Honestly, a huge signing, this one. Trouble is, though... No. I want to make a counterpoint here. The trouble is, Brighton's culinary team is a Michelin-starred operation. You can't just poach the head chef and expect to replicate their style of food. I think this is a risk, big risk.
Do you know what I say? Let him cook.
Let him cook. I'm surprised we didn't go in for him. Actually, I say Brighton, anything Brighton, I'm like, he didn't come to Chelsea.
Yeah, Bowley tried.
Honestly, there's fuck all from the news this week. That was really disappointed.
Yeah, there's not a lot going on, is there? I would have expected to hear a little bit more about outgoings in the transfer window. Do you want to talk about Kepa?
What's going on with you talking about outgoing keepers? What's going on with former goalkeepers of ours lately? I mean, they formed like a union to just throw shit at us. You got, I saw Bettinelli had popped up to say he left Chelsea to play with winners. Mate, you're at Man City. You're the third choice goalkeeper. You're more likely to be winning at the table tennis in the locker room than lifting a trophy there. You know, as a key part of the team. And then this one really pissed fans off. Edouard Mendy chimed in claiming he left because he wanted to win everything, and that wasn't happening at Chelsea. That's an interesting take from a man who tripled his salary to go play for Al Ahly. Look, I'm going to say, I'll call it for what it is.
I don't think he even won anything in the Saudi league, so I don't.
He has won. He won the Champions League over there. He has won the Champions League.
Look, red carpet.
Let's call it what it is. It is ambition. I'll allow that. Yes, the ambition was financial. It was financial.
Yeah.
and now you've got Kepa off to Arsenal. So I'm just waiting. I'm timed. There'll be an exclusive interview where he says something along the lines of like he left Chelsea to achieve his dream of being second choice at the Premier League runners-up Arsenal.
Yeah, but like they always like anytime players go from one Premier League team to another under poor circumstances, they always say, "Oh, you know, now like I'm going to be really good." And
what poor circumstances does Bettinelli leave?
I don't know.
He was third choice. That's literally the job. Be the motivator.
The best job in the world, isn't it?
He brought the coffees. I tell you one thing: Rob Green never did that to us. That man was loyal.
Yeah, damn right. Yeah, to be honest, I know a lot of people are saying things like, "Oh, you know, Kepa would be our best keeper if he played for us at the moment." I can't lie to you; I'm still so happy he's gone. I thought we'd never get anything for him, and he'd eventually drag out his 15,000-year contract on a free in the end. But yeah, I'm really pleased that we don't have to deal with him anymore. He's probably a serviceable keeper. He'll do all right as a backup for Arsenal.
Big wages off the books.
Yeah, in terms of our wages, sure. I think he took a pay cut to go over there. I think this is the only way he ever would have.
I don't see how he's
able to play. So yeah, I'm not losing any sleep over losing Kepa. Let's put it that way. He tormented me for too long. What? His contract was so long. When we first signed him, I was in university, and now I'm 27 years old. So, and now he's finally gone.
Yeah, I'm not convinced by Kepa. Is he the best goalkeeper at Chelsea if he came back? No, that's just not realistic. I'm sorry, it's not. I'm not saying that Sanchez is better, but you're going, well, he'd be the best goalkeeper. I think they're all, basically, you're putting a hand in a barrel and everybody's shit. That's what you're doing. No one's substantial. Like, I love Jorgensen. I do. Is he the best keeper at Chelsea? They're all similar level. Jorgensen is probably a little bit more reliable, but he's very raw. Sanchez is never going to improve. Right now, if Petrovic is truly being moved on, right now, Jorgensen has the highest ceiling. But that shouldn't be the...
No, Penders has the highest ceiling.
Yeah, that's actually a very good point. But you're not going to start Penders. And
no, not yet anyway.
Is Jorgensen start material yet? Not yet for me.
None of our keepers are, is the reality.
Will it be? Yeah, I've got to look at it as well from. If I look at it from the Danish point of view, would I want Jorgensen starting for Denmark? No, I wouldn't. I think there's better keepers ahead of him in the Danish team. So that's kind of how I see it. You know what? We're going to move straight to winners and losers because we closed out our Club World Cup group stage against ES Tunis. On a night where the mercury flirted with 33 degrees centigrade and the atmosphere was sweatier than a deadline day fax machine, Chelsea made sure their Club World Cup journey didn't end at the group stage, even if it technically still feels like pre-season with silverware. Tosin kick-started the chaos with a first-half stoppage-time header so smooth it could have been sponsored by Jazz. Enter Liam Delap, Chelsea's new 30 million power forward in boots, who channelled his inner Didier Costa-Zlatan hybrid to bully a defender, fake out another, and finish with the casual flair of a man adjusting the volume on a remote. 2 goals in 2 minutes. The game was basically done before anyone finished their overpriced stadium hot dog. But there's more. Enzo Fernandez, operating somewhere between quarterback and orchestra conductor, dropped 2 gorgeous assists like confetti in Times Square. If you're still asking how much of his glow up is hernia recovery and how much is Maresca tactics, the answer might just be both. Nkunku nearly won a penalty, then did win one, sort of, before VAR showed up like a stern parent to say, absolutely not, young man. But fear not, Tyreek George made sure Chelsea got their third with a shot so cheeky it should have come with its own punchline. So, Chelsea cruise into the last 16, where Benfica, yes, Group C winning, Bayern slaying Benfica await. The road ahead gets trickier, but on tonight's showing, the Delap Fernandez link-up might just be the tour bus to take them there. Oh, ES Tunis 0, Chelsea 3. Who have you got? How many have you got?
I have 5 and 1.
Fucking hell. I have 3 and 2.
Yeah, do you know what? I was struggling for losers, so I thought I'd just load up on the winners then.
I can't. For some reason, my phone's going off. I don't know why my phone. I don't know what's happening here. My phone is going off. There we go.
Okay?
Something happened there. I don't know what that was about.
You briefly went into a tunnel, I think.
Yeah. First winner. There are performances that make you smile. Then there are performances that make you believe. Enzo Fernandez takes center stage for my first winner. He was a midfield puppet. Yeah, he had to be. I mean, the midfield puppet master was at it again. And he somehow managed to win player of the match in just 90 seconds. That's kind of how it worked. 2 assists. Oh, so silky, so silky. You could have buttered toast with them. Beautiful. The chemistry between him and Delap, sensational. And it wouldn't be, you know what?
Did you see that? Did you see what they, one of them said? I think it might have been Delap. Oh, yeah. For God's sake. What Delap, I think it was Delap, said after the game, he said, Enzo came up to me, said, make the run and I'll find you.
The chemistry
is great.
If this game taught me anything, it's that Enzo to Delap might, I'm going to emphasize the word might, just be Cesc to Costa 2.0.
No, might. It's too early. It's too early. It's too early for might.
Overreaction, you think?
Look, he's been outstanding all season. Well, no. All through 2025. We're watching a top-tier midfielder fully unleashed now. And I'll ask the big question, because other people have said this on Twitter. They've said it in the Discord. What sparked the Enzo evolution? Is it Maresca's tactical system finally unlocking him? Or is it the fact he's now fully recovered from the hernia that he played through last season? For me, it's a bit of both. I hate to use a cliche. It's a bit of both.
It's true, though. It probably is a little bit of both. You mean, the thing about the tactics is, yeah, he is on the ball a little bit more, but he's still crashing the box like he was under Pochettino. So that element of his game that people were critical of him before about, well, like, what does he do? Does he score goals? He gets this? No, not really. Then what does he do? If he's there crashing the box like he learned under Pochettino, and he's doing it better now, but the fact he's doing the same thing kind of shows that doesn't come from Maresca's tactics. That probably came from Pochettino. His other elements of his game might be elevated by those other two things, though.
Yeah. I mean, when you spend the money we did on him, you instantly get pressure. I personally, do I care about transfer fees? In a way, no, because can a player ever live up to anything that's 3 figures? Probably not. I mean, it's not a Liverpool show. Florian Wirtz, can he live up to the 120? Well, unless he wins Ballon d'Ors and Champions Leagues every season, probably not. What justifies 127? What justifies 105? Do they make
people will pay?
Yeah, exactly. Does the player make the team better when he plays? If the answer is yes, fuck it. It's value for money to me. And right now, Enzo and Caicedo, when they play, do they make the team better? Yes, good enough. That's kind of how I see it now. Who was your second winner?
My second winner is the other man, Liam Delap.
Mine.
Because really nice goal he scored. I like seeing a striker that we actually have sort of a striker instinct, especially with the goal that he took. Listen, I'm not going to pretend like it's the greatest goal in the world. A lot of people are making it up to be a bit better than it was. In reality, the keeper should have dived for it. I will give him credit because he shoots early and that probably wrong foots the keeper. It's a nice little thing to do. Shifts it left, right, little nice dribble, and then finishes it sort of not under the keeper, but kind of quite close to him. And Yeah, it was a really nice goal. Really nice to see a striker of ours score a goal like that, like a proper number nine. Um, and yeah, and just overall quite impressed with him so far. I feel like he's hitting the ground running. I suppose he knows Maresca already, he knows Palmer already, so maybe to be expected a little bit. But the true test will obviously come in the later games and obviously in the league when that comes too.
See, I thought it was. I didn't think it was just a goal. I kind of saw it as a statement of who he is because he bullied two defenders. He shrugged off the goalkeeper. Not a real goalkeeper, in hindsight.
He is not a real goalkeeper, to be fair.
I think that goalkeeper just wanted to go on holiday. I've never seen a man look so up, couldn't be asked in my life. It was like, oh, fuck this shit, mate.
He definitely seemed a little bit out of his depth, bless him.
Oh man, he buried that ball like a true veteran striker does. And look, forget the finish a minute. Fuck that off. Look at the hold up play. Look at the strength. Look at the footwork. We haven't seen a striker in Chelsea blue do that since Giroud. Easily. And the way he creates his own shooting lanes and he just keeps everything on target and low is just why Chelsea won the race for him. We wanted to win that race because honestly, swapping the under 21 Euros for the Club World Cup has turned out to be a masterstroke for him. And you could say, yeah, but they're in the final. Yeah, they are. They are in the final. However, now that Jackson is suspended until the quarterfinals, Delap's first choice, and he's scoring goals. He's scoring opportunities that Jackson had a habit of missing. Right now, he's a smart lad. He's a hungry player, and he's got a big future at the club. Because would I start Jackson ahead of him right now? No, I wouldn't. No way. Would I have started Jackson ahead of him? Come, obviously, not day one in the Premier League because that's not possible. He's suspended. But no, I wouldn't have started Delap because of the fact that I wouldn't have he wouldn't have played in a competitive game for Chelsea. And can we trust him? We don't know because he hasn't played. He's been at the the under 21 Euros. Now we can trust him. That's just how it works. I know some people are going to argue and say, well, he'd have started anyway because of the fact that, Jackson's suspended for the first game. I don't think Maresca starts him. I think Maresca starts Mark Gue or whoever the next striker is that we might sign in the summer. That's kind of how I see it. I could be very wrong. We'll never know. It doesn't matter. It's never going to be found out.
I think it's interesting that Delap has he's forced this conversation early in my head. It feels very, very early to be saying these kinds of things about is he going to usurp him? Because Jackson's done a lot of good for the club. He's been a bit of a moron lately. Don't get me wrong, but he's done a lot of good for the club, and it's going to take a while. I think. I don't think Delap needs to earn it. I think it shouldn't be on the basis of people's criticism for Jackson that they laud Delap. They should, see what Delap can do at first.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, 100%. You know what? I will go with my third and final winner. I've got Flamengo 3, Chelsea 1. It's a loss. I've put a loss, but it's actually a win. Funny, isn't it, how hindsight works, isn't it? Look, that loss to Flamengo now means we avoid Bayern Munich in the knockouts, and it's a more favourable draw. It's a more favourable draw in a money printing competition that I am not complaining about because look at England at the last Euros. You fall into the easier side of the draw, make it to the final. No one's going to complain. And then for Chelsea, let's put it this way. You're in a one-off game. You're in a final. It's a one-off game. Anything can happen. Anything can happen in a one. It doesn't matter whether you had an easier route to the final. Who gives a shit? You're in a one-off game. Anything can happen. And this sets us up to sneak into the final, make some noise. Count me in. Trophies never ask how you won it. They just want to know how many you've won. That's why 2011, 2012 Champions League. Were we the better team against Bayern Munich? No. And I'm not going to blow smoke up my own arse and go, yeah, we were the better team in that final. No, we weren't. But we had a game plan.
We were. Can't help
we stuck to it. We beat Bayern. No one cares how Bayern played, how Chelsea played. They just care who lifted that trophy. And that's what it is. Who's your well, you've got all winners. I want to know them.
Yeah, the first one's kind of similar to what you said. Sort of the path to the final is my next winner because, with the unfortunate loss against Flamenco, I mean, it almost doesn't feel as unfortunate now, really. But
planned.
Maresca's master plan, probably not. but yeah, I'm quite encouraged by that because like I think if we beat Benfica, it's Palmeiras or Botafogo, whoever wins that. Then we're not playing a serious team until like quarterfinal, semi-final, and then you're in the running no matter what you're doing. So it's
Palmeiras or Botafogo in the quarters if we win our tie, and then it would be Inter, Fluminense, and whoever wins Group G versus runner-up in Group H, which is, I think it's Man City or Juventus. Man City or Juventus, whoever tops against Real Madrid or Salzburg. Now, I'm going to assume Salzburg lose to Real Madrid, so they'll be set. Unless Al Hilal beat. Actually, if Pachuca lose, looking at it. So if Al Hilal win, against Pachuca, which is possible, and Salzburg lose, then Al Hilal go through.
Interesting.
We'll see.
Yeah, so I think especially at least up until that sort of past the quarterfinal, then we're doing pretty well.
Yeah, that's true.
And like I said, the South American teams are no slouches, but I think when it comes to the business end of the competition, you probably do want maybe those teams a bit more when they're a bit more tired.
Well, yeah, who do I think will go through out of the two? I think. You know what? I really think Botafogo. They've been really impressive.
I agree. I really like Esteval and stuff, but
they didn't.
It's not enough, I don't think.
No, Botafogo beat PSG, and they didn't just beat them by. Yeah, it was 1-0, but they were impressive in that game.
Yeah, it was a good 1-0.
And yeah, I watched them against Seattle. It was what it was.
Oh dear.
It was. That's very. You know what? We scored a goal. We scored a goal. Yeah, it is what it is. Who's your next winner?
My next winner is finances.
Yes.
Because we got something like, I know, we got 20 million for being in the competition in the first place. I think we got another 15 or 16 million. That's pounds, I think, from both topping our group and getting through to the round of 16. Right, so there's extra money on top there immediately. So we've also already kind of this isn't how it works at all, but in a sense, in terms of like sheer money in, money out, we've kind of already paid for Delap.
I saw that. I was like, we would have activated the release clause, so we wouldn't have paid it in installments then.
Yeah, it's not how it works really, but in terms of sheer money in, money out, it kind of is. And so I don't know that the further we can go in this competition, the better, because the prize money is pretty significant. It'll make a big difference. Yeah, so it's worth it. It's important, but now I think no matter what, it's been a financial positive generally, the competition for us. Which I know that's not the priority as all. The football shit, all that. I get it. I'm just looking at the silver lining on the cloud. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Here comes the money.
Here we go.
That's our ownership. Like, oh, come on. Who's your next winner?
My final winner is Josh Achimpong. Played left centre back, which I thought was quite interesting, but held it down pretty well. I thought overall he just had a good game. He's promising. He's working with the team well. I think Maresca knows him a little bit better now. I know there were some talks before about him maybe getting sold, but I don't think it's all that serious. He seems like a good kid, talented boy, who deserves probably at least a bit part role in this team next season, if not a decent loan somewhere. So yeah, I just wanted to shout out that Cobham's impressing again.
I saw that story and I just was like, oh, some journalism yoga, that is, because it's a stretch. This is the same. I'm not gonna name names, but this is the same journalist that said that Real Madrid were gonna pretty much sign him last year, and then he signed a new deal. Do I think that we sign that deal to, sell him? No. Could we ever rule that out? Of course not, because it's just the club model that it is. However, do I think that that's going to happen this summer? I do not. And
no, I think he's more likely to go on loan than anything else, I think.
Yeah, possible. I don't worry about it. I really don't. And listeners, I understand when you see stuff like that, you go, oh, personally, I would say put the phone down, go outside, enjoy the weather. Don't stress. Social media, it's not everything on theirs. Only at the Bridge Pod. That's social media. Other than that, fuck it all off. You don't need it.
Yeah, you don't need anyone else but us. Enjoy our parasocial relationship with you. You like it.
Exactly. Winners all wrapped up. Lovely. Moving to losers. I've got two. because
I've
you've
just got the one.
Wow.
Yeah.
I have got Enzo. Oh, no, I have not. I haven't got Maresca. Oh, how'd you going? You can clip that. I have got. I'm sorry, but I've got Bashir Ben Said.
Who?
It's the goalkeeper.
Oh yeah, he was
Yeah.
terrible.
If this was the kind of performance you're remembered for, you'd kind of hope no one was watching. He shined. He did shine versus LAFC. He did. And Bashir must have known this game was being played past midnight in the UK because he turned from solid shot stopper to a spectator in gloves. Truly beautiful Cinderella carriage from game 2 vanished and turned into a
disaster
pumpkin.
class, wasn't it?
I will tell you this. I know we won 3-0. He could have saved all 3 goals if he'd have bloody tried. He did.
Yeah.
It's kind of important when you're the keeper.
I mean, maybe the Tosin header is a bit far away from him. I don't think he gets to that. But the certainly Delap's one is the big one for me. It's like, I know that he's probably gone a bit earlier than you're expecting, but you've got to be ready for that because it's pretty close to him.
Honestly, I looked at this and I just thought, is this game an early shout for
It's not a real game.
award next season? The most
Maybe.
not a real game. Because it kind of didn't even feel like they were playing with the keeper. And I picked him as a player to watch because he was a player to watch. He was good against LAFC. I don't know what happened.
He was a player to watch, just not for the reasons you thought.
I genuinely was shocked because I expected more. I feel annoyed. And I never knew of this player before this tournament.
You've let host down, Bashir.
I'm so annoyed. But what are you doing? Who's your only loser?
My only loser is actually me. Because I absolutely lost my mind when I saw the lineup. I was thinking, Nkunku's playing and Dewsbury Hall is playing, and you've got Achampong at left back, and you've got left centre back, and Gusto at right centre back, who's going to be in midfield, and it's just awful. It was the 3 centre backs were all like wrong and flipped around. Like Badishia was on the right, Achampong was on the left. You probably would prefer that the other way, or Badishia was in the middle. I can't remember, but to be fair, it was a total fucking mess. But we won 3-0.
Yeah,
that's why I'm a loser.
I'm not going to lie to you. I did not see the lineup. I did not see the score until I woke up at 7 when my alarm went off because like I said, I have a job and I have to be up early. And I looked at it and now I'm looking at it again. What shocked me was Dewsbury Hall's right wing. What? Wait, not politically, just in the position on the field. Nkunku played in his natural position. And I watched him actually a little bit in the game from the highlights I did, because I'm not going to sit here and say I'll watch the full game. I can't, and I'm not paying to Zone Plus to watch the full game. Nkunku was all right, but that's because he played his bloody natural position.
Fuck off.
He was all right. I didn't say he was world class. I said he was all right.
Yeah, being all right is not enough to stay.
No, it's not. I know, that's fair. Right. My final loser. Everybody who demanded Andre Santos start game 1, in fact. And that includes me. My hand goes up. My hand is up and it's staying there because I think everybody got a bit too excited over Santos. And I understand, totally understand that. I really do. I mean, look, watch how he played at Strasbourg. I get it. And there were flashes of quality in that game. It was a very welcome to the top level 23 minutes for him. I mean, the pressure probably got to him a bit early on, and he was sloppy. I have to be fair and critical, especially for the first 15 minutes. Credit where it's due, though. He did win a nailed-on penalty, somehow disallowed by the worst VAR moment of the tournament, easily. And I don't know how you can watch that and go, no, how? What the anyway, somehow that was disallowed, but he did assist the 3rd goal.
Yeah,
and overall,
I don't want to be harsh on Santos.
I think overall this was a very good case study in why easing young players in matters.
Yeah,
for sure.
Let's
slow the hype train just a touch.
I know, and it's just important that people are saying he's got to do well now or whatever. It's going to take him some time to bed in. Same as any other player. Esteval will be the same. Paez, when he comes, he'll be the same. Quenda, he'll be the same, unless they're absolutely phenomenal. 99% of players need an adjustment period. That's okay.
I know,
okay.
And I know we're
maybe by the start of the season, what in a lot of fans' heads is what really matters. he'll be fit, raring to go, know the system a bit, and they'll kick on from there. So
some players do come in and light the world up. They do. They are the sun. That happens. However, sometimes you don't want to throw them in and they're a broken bulb after 3 minutes into the game. For me, this is why I keep saying, can we calm the fuck down about Esteval? Is he a good player? Yeah, he is. He's a bloody exciting player to watch. I'm not wanting to start day one, 90 minutes. Can we ease him in? Let's be sensible.
It's the way to do it. It's the way to do it.
He's such a talented player.
Because they're all
at the deep end.
You got to remember, all these guys are very young. You know, like they're all experiencing fame beyond their wildest imaginations for the first time. A massive opportunity for them and their families and everything. And sometimes the pressure gets to people, especially people who are very, very young. Some of which are almost still children. So you know, just if you give some people patience, they'll pay you back in kind. I'm sure.
Exactly. That's winners and losers wrapped up there. Emojis. What have I got? I went with the thumbs up because we did the job. We progressed.
Yeah, a shrug for me. Just because. Well, yeah, Chris says it best. It's not a real game. Yeah.
Right. Whiskered Warrior of the Week.
I forgot you fucking calling it that.
It's only temporarily. I had Liam Delap. Chris had Andre Santos, and the wheel went with Mamadou Sarr. I am claiming this again.
Yeah, that's all you, Mikey.
I did all right considering.
The only person you'd give it to over him is maybe Enzo Fernandez.
Oh, I feel that Enzo is the win because obviously we are tracking for this this tournament. I am now 2 up. It's only you're the other one who got one when you picked Enzo last game.
Yeah, so what you got to do? I think Enzo's in some solid form right now. You got to let him play to his strengths. You know.
So we're now up to Benfica. Actually, no, we don't go straight away for the Lion. We go to the match preview, of course. Sorry. We're taking on Benfica in the Club World Cup. So I've got a scoop up for you. They topped Group C with 7 points. How did they do that? They beat Bayern and Auckland whilst drew 2-2 against Boca Juniors.
They beat Auckland. What an achievement.
Boca couldn't do that, though. Boca Juniors didn't. So that must be amazing for them players. Oh, that'd be awesome, isn't it? Like, they held Boca Juniors to a draw. It don't matter when
Boca, they're in the top 100 teams in the world. Probably,
yeah,
Boca, aren't
they? They are an amateur. Well, they're a part-time team. They'd be the equivalent of our non-league in the UK. That's fucking phenomenal. Good for them. Crazy. That's what I say. Yeah. The spotlight on the players. Look, I can't believe I get to say this, but Angel Di Maria and Leandro Barreiro. I mean, still insane.
Plays for them.
It's still insane that Di Maria is playing at such a top level because this is his 20th season in football.
How old is Di Maria now?
37.
Like 40.
37.
Oh, so he's not quite 40. But
every game, potentially his final game at Benfica because he's heading to Rosario at the conclusion of the Club World Cup.
I remember when he signed for Man United and he was probably one of their better players at the time.
That's mad. The last time Benfica beat Chelsea in a competitive game was never. We are 3 for 3 in every encounter.
Fucking suck it. Suck it.
Lion of the Week predictions time. Whiskered Warrior. I tell you what, I'm going back to back to back. I'm three-peating. I'm going Liam Delap.
I'm going to go back to back on Enzo Fernandez because he's from Benfica, isn't he? He's score to settle. Maybe a little bit with Rui Costa and that, with everything that happened when he did sign for us. So,
you know what? You've picked Enzo in every single time you've been on this for the Club World Cup,
and I think I've won a few. So,
you've won one. I'm
backing my boy. He's playing very well at the moment.
And the wheel went with don't take the piss, Will. I'm not allowing this. No. Gaga Selena. No, come on, Will. Don't take the piss.
He might play.
He won't fucking play. Oh, well played, Will. Well played. Liam Delap. I like that. Liam Delap. Of course you went with Liam Delap. The sensible option. We might be joint winners this week. Right. And of course, we'll end the match preview with our newest segment, Blue versus Who. If you missed a minute, you haven't missed it. You're a veteran listener. I know of you. So, 3 questions about our upcoming opponent, and we see if the lad can go 3 for 3. So,
Sounds like a
How-
darts nickname, doesn't it?
The lad.
The lad.
How many UEFA Champions League stroke European Cups have Benfica won? Now, it's all multiple choice. You've got A, 0, B, 1, C, 2, or D, 3.
Have they got one?
Is that your answer?
Yeah, my answer's one.
Can you name the year?
No. It's probably pre-Champions League, isn't it? I don't know, 85.
Well, first of all, you're wrong, and you're wrong because it was C.
Okay.
They won it in 1961 and then again in 1962, and then obviously the curse.
Okay,
Yes.
fair enough.
Second question. Which of these former Chelsea players has never played for Benfica? So, Manish, Thiago, Gus Poyet, or Scott Minto?
I'm going to go with Poyet. I don't think he played.
Nicely done. I threw that in because I thought he was the most. He's a player that you imagine, and I can imagine him at Spurs, and I imagined him at obviously Chelsea, and I was like, I think people might think, was he at Benfica? Scott Minto had me. I was like, Scott Minto played for Benfica.
I had no idea. I was like, maybe he did. So I was just going to
Wow.
go with Poyet. Poyet sounded the most inserted there. So yeah.
Yeah. Over Scott Minto, an English player. Really?
It's weird, isn't it? Like you never know where people get up to when they just fall off the face of the earth in terms of like the football world. You know, like David James, he was like 40 years old out playing in India, wasn't he? Like,
True. I mean,
you never know what happens to people.
I've got to read you the names. All the players that were English that played for Benfica in the careers. Gary Charles, Steve Harkness, Michael Thomas, Scott Minto, Brian Dean. I know of only Brian Dean other than Scott in that list.
Isn't there there's an English winger or something in the Portuguese league at the
He's
moment?
left. You're on about Marcus Edwards. He's now at Burnley, which again, going from Lisbon to Burnley, like, yay.
Yeah, it's not an upgrade weather-wise, is
It's
it?
interesting. Right, and finally, Chelsea's first competitive encounter with Benfica was on the 27th of March 2012 in the first leg of the Champions League quarterfinals. I want to know who scored the only goal of the game. Was it Ivanovic, Mikel, Ramirez, or Kalou?
Ooh. Can you give me the names again?
You get Branislav Ivanovic. You get John Obi Mikel. You get Ramirez and Solomon Kalou.
I can't remember. I'm gonna go with Ivanovic.
Oh, that was the trick one. It was actually Kalou. I picked Ivanovic because obviously he scored in the Europa League final. I knew that a trick. I knew it. Well, there we go.
Do you know, I remember that one of those years, Ramirez scoring a goal against, it might have been a Portuguese side. I can't remember. It was a really nice goal, though.
Was that the Barcelona? Oh, no.
No, it's the one
Different
where he puts the ball under his shirt because his wife was having a baby or something. I can't remember. But yeah, do you know what? I was almost tempted to say Mikel. I was like, what if, like, I know he scored like twice or three times for Chelsea. I know one was Derby, and I can't remember the others.
That's
Maybe
I
one...
like that.
Yeah.
Oh, hello.
Oh my God.
Strasbourg have sealed a deal for a 16-year-old fullback called Angelo Candido from Sao Paulo. Of course, a South American wonder kid. Of course they have. It's almost like their owners, like Chelsea's owners. Oh, dear me.
Whatever.
Do I know him? No.
No.
Well,
Who cares?
Maybe. Let's have a look at Quaresma's questions. We have... Oh, NJ Brandt. Whoever buys Nonny has to also take Sterling.
Yeah, I like that. They're a package deal.
2 for 1.
You've got to take them both.
You know what? I really like this question. G Payne, should Chelsea get Andreas Christensen back if he's available? Oh, so tempted because
I think the question's moot because he's not available.
I don't know.
But I think that ship sailed personally. It's just different point in his career now, isn't he? It's a different situation. It's not the same club anymore. I'm not sure it would fit.
But he does know possession because of Barcelona.
No, I just got to be the anti-Danish propagandist on this show.
Fucking hell. And you know what? I like this one. No Lorsko. What do you all think about the ref's point of view camera? Would it work in the Premier League?
The people who regularly go to matches would probably hate it, but I actually would quite like it.
Just leave that on the big screens at halftime. That's the highlights.
It's the ref cam. I like it. I would like to see it in the Premier League. I think it's a nice, interesting perspective, and it shows just a little different angle. You never know what you might see. Like some of the best goals ever are filmed at sort of slightly unconventional angles. So, you know, if you're literally got the camera view like down with the ref, he's going to have one of the best views of anyone. So yeah.
Chelsea KJK has asked, aren't we secretly rooting for a loss against Benfica? Players need rest. Thanks, Trent from New York. I'm going to be honest. I can't ever want Chelsea to lose. I really can't do it. I can't do it. I just can't.
Yeah, I can't do it. I can see people's argument for wanting some extra rest. I don't think that's wrong, but for me, I just can't. I can't make that call.
No, no, it would be so.
I feel dirty about it.
It's just not in me, because at the end of the day, I'm a Chelsea fan. I want us to win every game that we can. I know that's not realistic, and especially if we still had Graham Potter. But no, I can't do it. I can't do it. Let's have a look at Twitter. We did have some questions on there.
Ooh, what is the absolute loveliest place on the internet got to say this today?
Cody. Okay. Do you think Maresca playing in Kunku has more to do with the prospect we might keep him, or trying to maintain his market value?
It's maybe a bit of column.
Bit of both.
Yeah, a bit of column B. Sorry, I know it's a cop-out answer, but they're both valid, aren't they? They probably do want to keep his value.
He doesn't have a value.
Yeah, and if by some grace of some deity that he does end up being somewhat useful for us in the season, it would be good to have him up to speed for this stuff. But to be honest, more than anything, I think he's just making up numbers as well.
Probably. And let's round it off with Ayoshi's question. What is all of your first 19 games expectations from next season? Title fight or set ourselves up for top 4? Depends on the goalkeeper. I don't see us winning a title with Sanchez as number 1. If he's number 1 come August, I don't.
I don't either. I mean, listen, he might surprise us, but he probably won't.
He won't.
He won't. No. I think my answer is kind of in the middle. I don't think we should necessarily be looking for a title challenge. I don't think we should necessarily be looking to just have top 4-ish form. I think we need something in the middle where we're like comfortably look like we're going to make top 4. Because I think we need to do the damage at that end of the season before it gets hectic in April and May. I don't know. For me, I would rather get out in front and see what we can do.
Yeah. I think top 4 is realistic. Winning a title or a title challenge, not winning a title. I don't see you do it with Sanchez. He costs you more points than he wins you.
He wins you. Yeah.
And that,
been saying it for years.
You need, you know, like him or not, Courtois won us more points than he lost us. Petr Cech, bloody hell, he secured 20 point head start at the start of the season. He's that phenomenal, special. I miss him so much. He saved so many goals from going in the net.
Ken, Mikey's getting all emotional over how much he misses Petr Cech.
Petr Cech, even Champions League edition, winning edition of Edouard Mendy. What a player! Oh my word. Listeners,
not the one who does interviews in the media, though. That guy seems like a bit of a prick, to be honest.
Listeners, we're at the end of another episode. Thank you, as always, for tuning in. Before we go, don't forget that we are, of course, proudly partnered with Head in the Game, the mental health charity using football to support wellbeing community. You can find out more at headinthegame.co.uk. So treat yourself well. We'll be back on Monday with our winners and losers from Chelsea and Benfica. So until next time, that'll be us. Signing off. You've been listening to At The Bridge Pod, a Chelsea FC podcast. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram by searching for At The Bridge Pod. And if you're listening on Apple or Spotify, leaving us a review is always appreciated.